Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, I should have known better? Have you ever replayed a moment from your past and whispered to yourself, it's all my fault? We often think forgiveness is something we extend to others, but one of the hardest people to forgive is ourselves. Self-blame is quiet. It hides behind the smile you wear in public. It shows up when you're alone. It whispers that you're not enough, not lovable, not whole. But what if that voice isn't truth? What if it's just a thought, and like all thoughts, it can be seen, softened, and let go? Today, on day 3 of our Letting Go meditation series, we explore how to release the weight of self-judgment and begin healing the inner critic from the inside out. In Buddhism, the mind is often described as a wild monkey, constantly jumping, grabbing, judging, labeling. And among all its tricks, self-blame is one of the most painful illusions. The Buddha taught that all beings are worthy of compassion, including ourselves. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. But for many of us, self-love feels unnatural, especially when we believe we've failed. So today we begin a new relationship with the one person we live with every day, ourselves. There's an old Zen story of a monk who carried water in 2 clay bowls. Every morning, he would walk down the mountain to the river, fill both bowls, and carry them up again. But one day, one bowl developed a crack. By the time he reached the monastery, half the water had leaked out. The cracked bowl felt ashamed. "I'm broken," it said. "I fail you every day." But the monk smiled and replied, "Have you noticed the flowers growing on the side of the path you water each day? Without your crack, the seeds would never bloom." This story reminds us, our flaws do not make us failures. They make us human. And sometimes what we think is a weakness is the very thing that nurtures the world. So where does self-blame come from? It often begins in childhood, a moment of punishment, rejection, or silence. The mind tries to make sense of pain, and sometimes the conclusion it reaches is, it was my fault, I am bad, I should have done more. This becomes a mental habit, one that follows us into adulthood. We blame ourselves for failed relationships, missed opportunities, even for being in pain. But Buddhism teaches that suffering is not punishment. It's a part of existence. You were never meant to be perfect. You were meant to be present, to learn, to grow. And that means making mistakes, falling down, learning to rise again. The path of awakening begins when we stop trying to be flawless and start learning to be free. Self-forgiveness is not saying, I did nothing wrong. It's saying, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time. It means looking at your younger self, not with judgment, but with compassion. It means saying, yes, I made a mistake, but I am not my mistake. In Buddhism, this is the heart of mindfulness, to see clearly without clinging or aversion, to see your pain and not turn away, to see your imperfection and not hate it. This is the beginning of freedom. Modern neuroscience backs this up. Self-criticism activates the brain's threat system, the same area triggered by physical danger. Your body literally goes into fight or flight when you blame yourself. But self-compassion activates the brain's care system. It releases oxytocin. It calms the heart rate. It heals. So when you forgive yourself, you're not being selfish. You're rewiring your nervous system. You're choosing healing over harm. Let us begin. Sit in a quiet space. Let your hands rest gently. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Feel your body. Feel the rise and fall of your breath. Now, bring to mind a moment where you blame yourself. Not the most painful one, just one that still lingers. Notice the emotions, the voice, the tension in your chest. Now gently place your hand over your heart and say silently, I see you. I see your pain. You were doing the best you could. I forgive you. I love you. I accept you. Breathe. Again, I forgive you. I love you. I accept you. Imagine your heart as a lotus flower slowly opening. You don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You only need to be present. Breathe in compassion. Breathe out shame. You are safe here. You are healing. Self-blame is not the path to growth. Compassion is. When we forgive ourselves, we no longer need to wear shame as a mask. We can show up as we are, unpolished, honest, awake. You don't have to wait until you've done everything right to offer yourself love. Love is how we learn to do better. The Buddha didn't become enlightened by being perfect. He became enlightened by being present, again and again. So today, begin again. Let go of the inner critic. Embrace the inner friend. If this meditation touched something in you, leave a comment. Today, I forgive myself for. Let the world witness your healing. Share this with someone who needs to hear, you are not your past. You are your power to begin again. And don't forget to subscribe, because tomorrow we explore how to let go of control and trust the unfolding of life with presence and peace. Until then, may you be gentle with yourself. May you be kind. May you be free.